everyone! Guess what? I created a coloring book, Kiss and Tell, and it came out last month. And today I want to tell you all about the inspiration behind it. Okay, the project got started in August when I was at Formex showing my work, and a book publisher came up to me and was interested in my work. So we started chatting about creating a few books, which was so exciting, one of them including a coloring book. So after the show, I had a meeting with them in September, and we discussed the contract and what they wanted it to be like. And so I signed the paperwork, and then the project got started, which was really exciting. So I had from September until my due date was at the end of January. So it seemed like I had tons of months to create these drawings, but there was 96 pages I had to create, and of those pages, I think 92 were going to be full page illustrations. So I had to do at least one illustration a day with some breaks in between, of course. Plus, I had to have the time to, make them digital, fix any mistakes, make them in the correct format and that stuff too. So the deadline seemed generous, but it ended up being quite busy few months. So that's what I've been doing all fall and winter last year. But it was really fun. So then the next stage was, once I got the contract signed and all that, and they said they wanted like the typical EmmaKisstina look with, fashion and beauty and flowers and pretty things, everything for girly girls, the usual stuff. So that wasn't like difficult for me to come up with lots of drawings. So it kind of went pretty easy, especially the first like half. But I wanted the book to kind of have a story or a concrete idea behind it, not just to be a group of pretty pictures, although it ended up kind of being like that. But I decided I wanted it to be inspired by Instagram, because the book is square, so I scoured Instagram and Pinterest, and I pinned tons and tons of photos into a secret board. and that's where I put all my inspiration. Tons of flat lays and all these from where I stand. Lots of hashtags that are really popular on blogs and Instagram, so I knew exactly what I wanted to look like. It was really exciting, and it was pretty easy to come up with inspiration once I had this idea. I wanted like little snippets, like the typical things that girls post on Instagram, like their new mani, or like their bag, holding a bag, like little details, not like not full pictures. Lots of flat lays with like a laptop and flowers and paper clips and all those just small details like that. Also, to try to be really organized, I created a post-it system. So on a few pieces of poster paper, I made 96 post-its to signify the 96 pages, and this was going to help me to organize what kind of illustrations I wanted and what kind of order they should go into. In the beginning, it really helped. I made little sketches of each of the illustrations, and I could move them around and see like, oh, I've done too many flat lays now, I should do more florals, or I did lots of the like mandalas with the pearls and ribbons and things, and then it became like, okay, I've done enough of those, and then I could like visualize how the book was laying out before actually being finished, which was really helpful. And then of course I was inspired by other coloring book illustrators, especially Joanna Basford, because she's like the original adult coloring book girly, and her drawings are really intricate and beautiful. But I also really like Swedish illustrator Tove Lisa's book. It was so strict and her style with all the little tiny little details, and I like the way she set up her book as well. So I definitely took inspiration from them, and I was just like, every time I flipped through their books, it was so amazing to think that one day that I would flip through my own too. It was very surreal. The supplies I used to create my coloring book were, of course, my xoxo mechanical pencil with extra lead because it was a lot of drawing time. And then I drew in all the lines with my xoxo fine point, what are they called? Fountain pen, and lots of ink cartridges because that also used up a lot of ink. I don't think I've ever drawn this much in my life. I was definitely drawing like at least one illustration per day, and it was such a good exercise. And I've never worked on a project in this big scale. I thought it was so exciting, and every day I knew I had something that I had to work on, and it was great. I would definitely want to work on another book. And now I kind of know what I'm doing, so maybe it would be even quicker, but I don't know. We'll see. So then once the contract was signed, and then I kind of had a plan going, and I had my supplies ready and my favorite square formatted sketchbook, then it was just to sit down in front of my Pinterest board and pick details from different images or things that I had in my head and put them to paper. So I sketched, some days I'd sketch like 5 different illustrations and then just let them be and then ink them another day. And sometimes I would sketch it and then ink it and, you know, finish one at a time. Just depends on the day and what I felt like doing. Sometimes I felt like I had more ideas and I just want to get them all on paper. And some days I just wanted to fill in the lines, and that was kind of like a meditation in itself, art therapy. Some days when you just don't feel like working really, but you're working. So illustration is a great job, I think. So then it was just a matter of sending off all of my final files, and they magically turned into this beauty, and I'm so proud, and I am so excited to see your creations because there's a hashtag that's in the book, Kiss and Tell Coloring, and you can use that to find other inspirational colorings, or you can share your own, and that's going to be so much fun when people start posting their colorings. For now, it's just being published by Pagina Förlag in Sweden, but I hope that it will be made available internationally someday. That would be really great. So it can be purchased on bokus.com, which is a Swedish book site, and they only ship to Sweden, I believe, maybe Norway, and I don't know. But otherwise it's adlibris.com as well, and I think they send to the other Nordic countries. And then we have penstore.com that sends internationally so that everyone can get a copy for now. And there's only Swedish text on like the back cover and one page, but it's otherwise pretty easy to understand. I hope that you loved the book and thought it was interesting to hear the inspiration behind it. I think that's it for now. I might do some more looks into behind the scenes of making this book and the other ones as well. So until then, I'll see you in Internet. Bye!